Using the opportunity to give the van a good clean as well as repacking or trying to repack some clothes that we're clearly not going to use over the next couple of months. Nicola needs a whole new van for that caper. And we still have some jars and bits and pieces that we purchased before we came away or acquired from my mum's prepper cupboard. And I just remembered we were doing ourselves again, being at a house sit means we have access to a full-size oven, so we're going to do a roast chicken tonight. And I forgot that I brought some cranberry sauce with me as well. Ooh. Nicola's in there in her element, getting rid of all of her anxiety, cleaning things. But yeah, jeans and long sleeve shirts and stuff I'm just going to pack away, because even though in a few weeks time we're going to be in the mountains, I doubt whether I'm going to be wearing jeans. Well guys, that's us pulling ourselves away from the comfort of the villa. We're going to make it's about a couple of K walk over to the little village, and then another couple of K via a little restaurant that we're hoping to book to go for lunch on Friday for, which I think is tomorrow. But we also leave the relative safety of the villa. This is the bit I've not been looking forward to.
All of the dogs.
There is the risk of lots of dogs that are off leash and not that friendly kicking around in these parts, so.
I do remember there was a big dog up the hill, wasn't there?
Yeah.
But it was shut away.
Let's hope that's still the case. The beautiful area at the sort of little peak of the hill.
Much greener this time.
Yeah, lots more rain. Yeah, up until about 2 weeks ago, there's just floods of rain down the road, which of course the reservoirs in the land needed. So it's good from that perspective, because this place will get mightily dry. And in fact, looking at the next sort of 2 weeks forecast in this area in the Algarve, pretty much no rain whatsoever. But down into the little village, where I also seem to remember there were a lot of angry dogs tied up as well. We've just passed one. Thankfully it was locked away, because it didn't look like, well, it looked like it did want to come and say hello.
It was wagging its tail.
But hello in its terms. As in, you don't need that limb, do you? Oh, have you started to get stir crazy?
Yeah, I have a little bit. No. Why do you think I was so keen to come walk to the village?
I was just starting to get settled into that morning routine of out with mushti, cup of coffee, sit and watch the stir. Oh. Very nice. And also the less chance of her falling over. So now we try to sneak past all of the resting dogs, because I seem to remember last time, when one gets set off, the whole village gets set off. So yeah, we just met a nice little friendly dog, and then rather than saying thank you to the chap, I said please.
At least you didn't tell him you were the milk today.
There we go. There's one. There's two. There's three. We feel miserably, or even see a face here.
It's me, that's a big one. Like there's already one down there. Oh, there's three.
You didn't believe me, guys, did you? Wow. Very nice place indeed. By the way, there's nothing in this village. Apart from ice cream that poisoned Nicola last time.
Yes, I think that was back there, wasn't open.
Huh?
But there is a co-op-y type thing somewhere, I think.
So guess what?
We're on the hunt for bread.
And yogurt.
I haven't had a baguette in so long I've forgotten what they're like. That's a bit of a clue to our baguette count.
Oh yeah. It's taken a bit of a hit.
It has taken a hit.
Yeah, it's quite funny. Some of the dogs will just give a woo, and then they'll be like, I am so bored of barking. And that's our, albeit very short, visit to the little village, done and dusted. No, Nicola again freaking out about cars. She freaked out so much 2 minutes ago that some guy thought she was crossing the road, and then because she'd committed to almost looking like she was crossing the road, she crossed anyway, even though her footpath ran out.
Anyway.
I've never known anyone to think that every driver is out to kill her.
I don't even know where it comes from. I've never, been hit by a car or anything, so.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
Dancing out of the way. Oh, here she goes again, look.
Oh.
Off she goes.
I was going to say there's a little mini mercado in the village that used to do coffees.
And poison ice cream.
And poison ice cream. She doesn't really do it. It's just I bought one once and then when I got out of the shop I realised it was open and I freaked out. Oh, cut.
And freaking out again. Not much changes in Nicola's life. Spends most of it freaking out.
But yes, but her coffee machine was broken, so
Yes.
we haven't been able to stop for a coffee.
Although her mate was sitting drinking coffee.
Yeah, but that is probably a cup of coffee she made for a friend, not for a guest. Not a guest, a client.
A guest. She should be making coffee for a guest. Are you getting hungry?
I don't know why I'm getting hysterical.
Right, we're now heading to the little cafe or the little restaurant to see whether we can book a table for tomorrow, because apparently word on the street is it gets very busy in here.
They don't have a menu, I don't think. They just decide what they're going to grill that day and you have to just pick one of those things. But it's really, really popular. And we did go when we were here before and it was very good.
It was very good indeed. Right, hopefully they understand that, because I don't think they spoke much English either, if any.
No, they didn't.
But hopefully we can work out a time and a reservation for tomorrow. Mushti. Mush, 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 mush. What a lovely peaceful morning, eh? Just like down in the little village, one goes and they all go. Maybe they're just saying good morning to each other, eh? Definitely a warm one though. Oh, don't let this suave demeanour fool you. Oh, that's pretty cold. Blooming heck. Not a bad way to start a Saturday. He says. Apologies in advance for any swearing. Someone has decided to join us.
Can they see you from there?
No, they can't see you from there. They can hear you. She hasn't even got in yet. Come on, girl. Just straight in.
Doesn't feel that cold when you put your fingers in.
2
I'm
feet.
not sure about this.
2 feet. Ankles.
Knees and toes, knees and toes. Oh my goodness. Oh, freaking.
Oh, she's out again. I'll avoid the clickbaity thumbnail of Nicola in a bikini. Tempted to put a thumbnail of Nicola in a bikini, and then when you click on the video, it's just me lounging about in a mankini. I'll teach you. Right foot, left foot, up their ankles, up their shins, up their knees. Oh, I'm falling backwards.
Just doing a bit of a jog.
Come on, girl, just get in.
Oh, I get all nervous. I can't. I'm going to have a couple of walks through the water, and then maybe I'll build up my courage.
I should have put this on time lapse. In fact, let's put it on a bit of time lapse and see whether she gets in or not. I absolutely love this time of the evening. Apologies if the ambience is being broken up by Nicola's getting her Netflix fix. Obviously, another benefit of the pet sit is unlimited internet, something that we do struggle with a little bit while on the road. We did, however, get a chance to catch up with Adolescence on Netflix. Very powerful. And now Nicola has decided to watch Blood Diamond. Probably hear the swallows as well. So they have already had one brood, some of which you would have seen at the start of this vlog. And we noticed that they have started to build a new nest. So it looks like there's going to be a second brood that the guys who live here will be able to spend the next 4 or 5 weeks observing. Last full day tomorrow. It's gone a little bit too quickly. We'd have loved to have stayed here for 2 weeks. The first week you kind of just sort of get into the rhythm of things, and yeah, it would have been lovely to stay for another week here. It's been lovely to catch up with Mishti as well. While we were watching that episode of Adolescence, he was sitting on my knee, and it just closed my eyes and almost reminded me of the times with our darling little Guinness as well. But no, it's a beautiful place, beautiful area. We've met a couple of English couples. In fact, tomorrow, Monday, we're actually heading out. A couple that we randomly met in the supermarket the day we arrived. And then we went and had coffee with them the other morning, and we're going to head out tomorrow with them for lunch. So that should be good. And then tomorrow, I think, will be a day of packing the van up. And then Tuesday, obviously, cleaning and tidying the house before we leave. I always thought that I wanted to live in Western Scotland. Portugal and Spain are certainly starting to have a pretty significant pull on me. I mean, here we are, 9 o'clock in the evening. And I know right now, at the time of recording, the UK has been having some unseasonably warm weather. But it looks like their weather forecast is changing. And as you saw earlier in that little sort of image that I put up, I think the sun is due to stay here for the quite foreseeable. And this time of the evening especially is just beautiful. And that's it. Our final evening at the pretty spectacular pet sit here in the Algarve.
Yeah, unfortunately today I've had a full day of work. Yeah. We did manage to go out for lunch, but I was really hoping to just enjoy the last day here, and it's just flown by.
Yeah.
I wish there was another week.
I know. But just a quick word on lunch. So that's twice we've been out for lunch while we've been here. And the prices are incredible. Yeah. I mean, generally, that was a 3-course meal.
With wine and beer again.
With wine and beer. We were out with another couple who we'd met.
And coffee.
And coffee. And it worked out at about...
It was €32 for the tourists, which is just nothing, about £27, £26.
Oh, look, the dogs arrived in to say goodbye as well. But just a quick word on how we get our pet sits. Now, I'm sure some of you already are aware of the app Trusted House Sitters. We signed up, we pay a fee, an annual fee, and of course if you're looking to have your animal looked after as well, you pay an annual fee as well. But that takes care of a lot of the legalities, and I think there's some police checks are done in it as well. Now, one thing I would say is we've noticed in the 3 years that we have been members of Trusted House Sitters that the number of people who are applying to sits has grown exponentially. When we first started applying 3 years ago, now we haven't done a huge amount because of course a lot of the hosts need to have pet sitters locked down many months in advance, and of course with our plans and our routes and things that can be quite difficult to do. But what we've noticed is that whereas 3 years ago you would apply and there'd be maybe one or two other people who would apply, now a sit will go on to the website or go onto the app, and within 10-15 minutes there's 4 or 5 applications.
And how it works is once they've got a certain amount of applications, it temporarily closes so they can review those. So if they find somebody from that first batch of applicants, then you haven't got a chance of even applying. So you have to get in really quick if you're going to apply.
Yeah. And what we have found is that obviously the host then will typically do either a Zoom call or a WhatsApp call or something, a bit like an interview. Thankfully, the pet sits that we've applied for, we have all got.
I think we were turned down for one, but it was because they wanted a single person.
Single person.
Yeah,
that's right. So it's a great website, great way to sort of be in areas for a longer period of time. I mean, some of the pet sits that we have seen, up to a couple of months, even longer. So if you were thinking of maybe visiting an area and you're a bit flexible with your working conditions, it can be a really good thing to do. And in fact, it is something that we have considered if we were to, want to move to a country, rather than just going there and renting somewhere. If you could get a long-term house sit, that would actually work out quite well. But I'll put a link down below, because if you were thinking of joining Trusted House Sitters, if you use our link, then you get a little bit of money off your annual fee, and I think we get a couple of months free. So click on the link below. So
just really a massive thank you to the house owners who picked us and have let us stay at their beautiful home and have a really lovely time here, with the most adorable cat, who I could quite happily take with us.
No, it's been fantastic.
It's a real privilege to be able to do this. It really is.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we were hoping that a lot of Nicola's work, I have managed to catch up. Oh, by the way, one of my latest travel articles I see has just been published today from our first couple of months first couple of weeks in Norway from last year. So that's in the Motorhome MMM Monthly, Motorhome Magazine Monthly.
No traffic all day.
No. Everyone's coming home from work. So yeah, go check that out. And as usual, Nicola's face appears quite prominently in it. And they keep I've got a face for radio, so. But yeah, so tomorrow we, as I was saying, Nicola, we had hoped that a lot of Nicola's work was going to come through while we were here, and sadly it now seems to be coming through
just as we're leaving.
Yeah. But we're going to be spending a couple of days in Albufeira. Mainly, I'm not sure whether we'll record anything from there. Might do a little Tiny Tuesdays or something, because of course we have been there before. Although if you remember last year when we were there, I was pretty ill. So I'm actually looking forward to going back to Albufeira for a couple of days and maybe not feeling so ill. After that, we're going to be turning our compass north and heading towards the mountains.
Which I'm a bit gutted about, because I've bought a lot of summer gear and it turns out I'm not going to need it. Yeah,
so tomorrow here it's going to be 28. Where we're hoping to be, it's going to be 8.
I'm not happy about this. 1, I'm going to have to be doing a lot of exercise and I'm really unfit at the moment. 2, I just haven't packed the right clothes for this trip. And I haven't got room to buy new clothes, so I'm going to have to layer up all my summer gear, I think.
It'll be grand. Right, guys, well, we're going to go in, grab a little bit of tea.
Enjoy the rest of the evening, there's not much left.
Have the last evening with our mushti. And I guess we will catch up next time. But going to miss this place.
Really going to miss it. I always get very sad when we have to move on, and it's such a beautiful home. I could just imagine myself living here. Don't tell them that, because they might not invite us back.
Exactly. Right, guys. Well, once again, thanks a lot for following along. And until next time, not sure where we'll be. Take care. Bye-bye.